Good evening. Welcome to the November 28th, 2023 meeting of Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh.
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends and Daily Record newspapers, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Please join me for a pledge of allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all of the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
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 Ms. Marsh, if you will please call the roll.
Mr. Dracy?
I'm here.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Hurd?
Present.
Mrs. Russell?
I'm here.
Mayor Cole?
Here. Next on the agenda is presentations, and tonight we have the honor of recognizing Watson Bud Hardacre.
All right.
So we're going to ask the council to come down.
Who's that? Is that you?
Oh, you're wearing the watch.
Yes, sir. It's cold out. Come on. They're going to come over. Let's tell you where you are.
He's right here.
Okay, perfect.
I can get that one.
Right here.
So, first of all, thank you for your service, sir. Happy birthday. I heard you 101. So we have a proclamation. It says, whereas Watson Hardacre, known to his friends and family as Bud, a longtime resident of Pequannock Township, celebrated his 101st birthday on November 11th, 2023. And whereas, as a member of the family proudly steeped in service to his nation, Bud enlisted in 1942 and served as a fireman first class in the Navy submarine services until December 7, 1945, 4 years after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And whereas, following his time in the service, Bud continued to aid the nation's military readiness as a chief machinist and plant superintendent in the aeronautical machinery industry, and later in his service to the community as a crossing guard in Pequannock Township for 14 years. And whereas Bud is the proud father of 5, grandfather of 7, and great-grandfather of 4 so far, with whom he shares his talents for love of sports, gardening, history, and more. Now, therefore, Mayor David Cole and the members of the Pequannock Township Council hereby congratulate Watson Bud Hardacre on his 101st birthday and recognize his service to our nation as a member of the greatest generation. Happy birthday, Bud.
The elders said you could go to 104.
They're both doing another one.
It says, I tell people, it's all right to get old, but please, not this old.
What's your secret?
I had a couple of fortunate but unfortunate things. My mother gave birth to me on November 11th, 1922. But she died on my birthday in 1988, but she was 90. And I had one other that I had 9. She was the last of the 7 children. She made 100 for 2 weeks, and then she died. But she wasn't 100 years old when she died. Guess how old she was?
How old?
She was born on leap year.
Really?
That's a good one. I thank every one of you for greeting me here and treating me. I have one more thing, and I think most of you will agree. This world is gone to hell in a handbasket.
Here, here.
It is
I
not
agree.
the world that I was brought up in. the world, really, I want to stay in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go by him.
Let me get a picture taken, Pop. Let's get a picture taken with the town council.
Yeah.
And the kids.
You can throw darts at it.
I'll throw the darts.
Stand behind
You
you.
sit.
You stand behind you.
Sounds like you make fun here. And let the kids come in the front.
We gotta be for lunch.
All right, Bud. Want me to go over one? Come on. Yeah, come on. Let the kids in.
Darren, you want to get a picture because of that taken?
All right.
Darryl, you're the one that put it in the picture.
Sit right here. Sit right here. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Hi, how are you? Congratulations again. Happy birthday again. Thank you.
You're on the council. Just tell them all else you want to.
Oh, you're awesome. I can't imagine what you've seen.
There you go, all different
Thank you for your
colors.
service. Because you're my family.
I like the one. Thank you. I like this shirt. Look at that.
101.
Oh, really?
No, it's not bad.
That's pretty too. You guys are all sparkly. Very nice. You got matching shoes. Oh, yeah.
That's the nice one. Nice, right?
I left the day early. I left the day early. Well, thank you for coming out.
Yeah, work out.
I don't blame you.
I had to come home early Thursday.
Congratulations. Thank you. All right, bud.
Go, Pop.
Yep. Have a good night. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
See you later.
He never did tell us his secret.
No.
Yeah, he never told you the secret to his long life.
Because it's a secret.
I think it was like 4 Corona Lights a night.
All right, at this time, are there any reports or comments from volunteers serving our community? All right, seeing none. The next item on the agenda is public comment. This public comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. An additional period for public comment is reserved later in the meeting. Individuals are requested to limit their questions and comments to 3 minutes. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized, come to the microphone, and provide your name for the record. Anyone? Okay. Mr. Cycling, your son want to come up? No. All right. Sure. All right, next on the agenda is the manager's report. Mr. Brewer.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. As we just heard from 6:30 to 7, thank you to Mr. Cantizano and the Health Department. The annual Board of Health meeting went well. Some interesting legislation to discuss in the upcoming year. The next item I have is, we had a presentation over the summer from the Where Angels Play Foundation regarding the Savino family and a playground for Tommy Savino. Articulated within the memo or enumerated is a schedule of activities. Preparation of the area will begin in March of '24. Deliver of materials on or about April 2nd. Playground will be constructed by volunteers thereafter, and then the ribbon cutting on Saturday, April 6th. The April 6th date is also the date of the Mayor's River cleanup. My initial thoughts were, if typically the cleanup happens in the morning, whether it's late morning or early afternoon, if ribbon cutting thereafter, there wouldn't be a conflict unless the council felt differently.
Just give us enough time to go home and clean up.
There you go. I'll do what I can there. I think candidly, it would be easier to move the cleanup than it would be the playground, but I think we can get both done unless there's any concerns or objections from the council.
I'm good with that.
Okay, good.
Awesome, thank you. The next is Route 23 Sewer Project.
Yay.
Hurrah, there is pipe in the ground.
Really?
So after much discussion over many years, we are actually having pipe installed as of last Wednesday. There's approximately 380 feet of pipe. They began in the vicinity of Goodwill. The contract is expected to be completed by May 2nd, 2024, based upon the current calendar. Obviously, if there are weather delays or other issues, that date could be moved back with restoration by, I'll call it November of 2024.
Let's just say May of 25, so we're...
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
No?
No, but there is a specified time period for completion or there are liquidated damages within the contract, so that's what those...
Oh, so that's incentive for them
May of
not to...
2025, it might not cost us anything.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
So unless we cause the delays, which we are working very hard, especially with Public Works and the H2M folks working with us to try to get this done. Every day there are questions, every day staff is in the field. It's a large project that's pretty complicated. Next up, there's a couple of resolutions pertaining to the council schedule for 2024. There was already discussion and an agreed upon date of January 9th, 2024 at 6 p.m. I got all the 2024s right in my memo, except for the one in the first paragraph. I thought I'd caught them all, but I still wrote 23 there. So reorganization, provided the council approves the resolution, will be January 9th at 6 o'clock p.m. Additionally, for the council's consideration is a schedule of meetings for the balance of 2024. It's based on 2023 with one notable exception. Because of the holiday schedule in December of 2024, it's hard to have that second meeting.
Good call.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, we're always trying to like stick it in at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's just...
well, it's really to pay bills or if there are other matters of necessity that require legislative action. So if the council is amenable, what I propose is to not have a noticed second meeting in December. Should we need a second meeting, only 48 hours of notice is required and 3 members present. We could always call for one with plenty of notice to all of
Okay.
you. So again, unless there's any objection from the members of council, we'll proceed with the schedule as
Good Benny.
identified.
I object.
Works for
We
me.
should have 3.
I will leave that to discussion with your peers.
You'll be here by yourself.
We have for the council's consideration a couple of ordinances for introduction this evening. The first is an ordinance pertaining to, I call it the ordinance to protect historic sites. The title pertains to an amendment to the ordinances regulating parks. We had some preliminary discussion in the past about legislative action that could serve to protect the train station as well as the Martin Berry House. Currently, there's limited power to move people along who are loitering. The purpose of the ordinance, which has been heavily discussed with staff, especially the police department, public works department, and shared with the Historic District Commission, would be to limit access to the entire lot that the historic site is on to times when there is a program or permitted activity.
Sounds great.
So again, one of the most powerful tools that a police officer has is discretion. So I don't know if someone who's having a cup of coffee at 10 would be moved along, but if you have a gaggle of adolescents at 3 o'clock in the morning, which believe it or not happens, this will allow the police officers to have a tool in their enforcement belt to address that concern.
So just to clarify, right now, we don't have anything specifically for the train station.
Correct.
More the Martin Berry House.
Right, and that's what I was going to ask. So by doing it that way, it's going to cover both locations?
Correct. Because we've had spates of vandalism in both locations.
But that's
What
not
happens
considered a
now?
park.
They're not
Yeah.
allowed
They're
to
historic
get an
locations.
app.
Historic parks. No, I know, but
Okay.
unlike a
Like-
regular park like Greenview Park, we actually can move people along because we already have it on the books that it closes at dusk.
on it.
Yes.
No, I was just, yeah,
What
I
if
agree.
like the Martin Berry House wanted to have like a wine tasting, would they be not allowed to do that because we don't allow alcohol in our parks?
No, because we use the term parks, not historic parks for that prohibition.
Perfect, okay, thank you. Good,
Parsing a
that was your idea,
beautiful
wasn't
word.
it?
Got a plan there?
I like that,
He's done this before, ladies and gentlemen.
I like it.
So, just a question, because I know the Historic Commission had a couple concerns or questions. Did they talk to you about that?
Yeah.
I did have a recommendation from the chair of the Historic District Commission regarding including additional language about commission activities or society activities, and I discussed that with Mr. Ustaik, who's in agreement that the ordinance as prepared covers that.
Right, but if they have an event tonight that's scheduled, so they can't go the night before and set it up because it's not a scheduled event?
It would be considered a scheduled event, a sponsored event.
It's a sponsored event. Even the setup is a sponsored event because they make a plan to come set it up.
It wouldn't happen without some sort of administrative review or approval from the Township of Pequannock.
And I don't think a cop is police officer, is going to shoo them away.
No.
I think
No,
it's
it
more to
just-
stop the kids from hanging out at the train station at 2 o'clock in the morning.
This is a little extreme for that, if that's where it's going. It seems like it's penalizing members of the committee if they want to do something in the
because
places.
That would be interpreted to be
Part of
a municipal or municipally sponsored activity.
They would know what to do.
If they're hosting a birthday party for their favorite nephew, that might not. But if they're opening the building for people to come and view it or do an educational seminar or something consistent with the society the commission has
Or
called.
even if they're,
Yeah,
yeah, even if they're having meetings, it's fine.
correct.
Yes.
So they don't need to schedule that?
No.
No, because it says activities permitted by the township, and the township has long permitted historic preservation to use.
This is really just addressing
And
that
plus, they're
one issue. It's
really
not
considered
gonna
part of the
affect
township, being
Right.
that
Being that
we
they're-
appoint them.
Right.
So.
Right.
It's just hard to believe that there's nothing on the books that the kids are hanging out there at 3 o'clock in the morning,
I
the
know.
cops can't tell them to leave. I mean, that
That's
seems
what I was
ridiculous.
going to ask you. What's their
It just seems
limited
absolutely
power
ridiculous.
now? They're not allowed to tell them to leave?
There's no law, there's no basis for enforcement.
Right.
Trust me, this was ground through ad nauseum, and
There's
ultimately this was the
nothing
solution.
easy to write them
Right.
up for and explain, and
Right.
you'd go to state laws, and there's some state laws about vagrancy, but they're vague and they're not very easy to enforce. This is very clear and very easy to enforce. You can't be there, and if you are, you violated the ordinance, and it's not a huge, it's not a state criminal matter, it's an ordinance violation. So,
And again, the goal, as Mr. Cantizano pointed out during the Board of Health meeting, is education first, explaining,
Right.
and trying to address things that way.
Educate the parents.
So
not
if
the kids.
somebody's...
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
How do you do that?
And I'll tell you what,
I don't want to be educated.
most of the individuals in question are known to the
Right.
authorities.
So if a kid violates it and the parents were educated on this, they're going to get a letter and a fine.
There will initially be conversation, and then ultimately a summons can be issued. Next ordinance, the next ordinance for the council's consideration, consistent with prior discussion, we have a couple of fee recommendations regarding parks and recreation activities. First, PV Park and the PV Park Woodland Lake dual membership. For residents other than senior citizens, a $5 increase, non-residents a $10 increase. And then the second category of increase is recreation soccer. Through the review of the recreation program, it was determined we need to pay people more. We have a very successful program. We have a lot of
agree.
participants, and a component of the costs needs to be addressed, which is raising enough money to appropriately pay some of the staff to help make it happen. So that's the principal basis for the increase in the soccer. Last, I went a little out of order, I apologize, because I was trying to stay with the agenda order. Council has, for its consideration this evening, a resolution authorizing the submission of a New Jersey Department of Community Affairs American Rescue Plan firefighter grant for 2024 through consultation with the fire chiefs, respective companies, as well as the OEM coordinator. There was a desire to purchase a turnout gear washer and dryer, which may have been funded with local dollars. That's going to be applied for through this grant, as well as additional sets of turnout gear to benefit the firefighters in town. So, no guarantees in funding. The resolution specifically references, if we give you less, will you still have it? Anything we don't have to spend with local tax dollars, as the council knows, we'd love to spend with someone else's money. Unless there's any questions, that concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much. There are no public hearings scheduled for this evening, so we'll move on to the next, and that's introduction of ordinances. Ms. Marsh.
The council's consideration is ordinance number 2023-14, amending Chapter 237 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Pequannock and including township historic sites in the regulations governing township parks.
You don't have any other comments, Mr. Brewer, correct?
Nothing else unless you want me to continue.
No. Are there any comments from council?
Nope, we
Nope.
discussed.
All right. Is there a motion to introduce the ordinance on its first reading?
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 2023-14.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dracy?
Yes.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mayor Cole?
Yes. Next on the agenda is introduction of ordinance number 2023-15. Ms. Marsh.
Ordinance 2023-15 is amending Chapter 152 of the Code of the Township of Pequannock and revising fees for certain parks and recreation activities and programs.
Again, I'm sure you don't have any comments, Mr. Brewer.
No, Mayor.
Are
Unless
there
there's
any comments, from the council?
Nope.
Is there a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
You're on it today, huh?
Mr. Dracy?
She's too quick. Yes.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mayor Cole?
Yes. Next on the agenda is resolutions. Ms. Marsh.
Beginning with Resolution R 2023-218, establishing the date of the 2024 reorganization meeting. 219, establishing meeting dates for the year 2024. Resolution R 2023-220, authorizing the transfer of, there's too many 20s in here, authorizing the transfer of 2023 current fund budget appropriations. 221, authorizing the transfer of 2023 sewer utility fund budget appropriations. 222, canceling unexpended sewer capital appropriations balances. 223, canceling the sewer capital improvement fund to sewer capital fund balance. R 2023-224, approving change order number 1 for the Ryerson Road Reconstruction Project, increasing the contract with AJM Contractors Incorporated of Clifton, New Jersey by $962.76 to a revised contract price of $116,392.76. Resolution R 2023-225, authorizing the acceptance of a hold harmless agreement from Renee, whose name I'm not going to even try to pronounce, and Thomas Penhale for Block 2301, Lot 6 for 440 Village Road. 2023-226, authorizing the discretionary award of a contract for a Formax 6308 series folding and inserting machine to Batco Enterprises, doing business as Equipment Solutions Corporation, in an amount not to exceed $25,980. 227, authorizing the submission of a grant to the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for the American Rescue Plan Firefighters Grant for 2024. 228, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations. And R 2023-229, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the November 21st, 2023 bill list and 2018 FEMA elevation escrow list.
Just so everyone's clear, the R 2023-226, the machine is being purchased with grant money that we have, so it's not costing the taxpayers anything.
I like that.
What is the machine for?
It's a folding machine, so any letters that go out,
We currently have a stuffing and folding machine that is antiquated and breaks a
Oh,
lot.
so it's replacing
So this is replacing and enhancing the ability to,
So we're not going to use
stuff
children
and
to do
fold.
that anymore, right?
no.
You won't have to hand stuff.
We can
We avoid the triangle shirt factories to lunch.
Okay.
Carol got one too many paper cuts and...
Oh, this is Carol's request?
All right, are there any comments on the resolutions from council?
On 224, is that like the final change order from them? Are they done?
Yes, change order and final payment.
Yeah, I mean, it's only $962, but still, that's like just a normal change order.
And that was mostly grant money too,
It was,
so...
yeah.
Yeah, that was predominantly supported by a grant and had to do with, it says it in Mr.
As long as it's fine.
Yeah, I was looking for what it was for. I was just curious what it was for.
If anything else coming.
Sorry, let me grab that out of, there's a memo behind the resolution from Mr. Russo. It's increasing the amount of crack sealing as well as material change in drainage pipe to avoid a utility conflict.
Utility conflicts are good.
Avoiding void, great, yes.
Any other comments?
No, sir.
Is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution R 2023-218 through R 2023-229.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dracy?
Yes.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mayor Cole?
Yes. All right, there are no items for discussion this evening, and there are no reports or notices. Next on the agenda is council reports and announcements. Councilman Dreesy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Don't have much. Nobody really met. None of my commissions really met. The one did, but I wasn't in town, so I couldn't go. Just to wish everybody had a good Thanksgiving. A lot to be thankful for. Let's make sure we're thankful for it. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the holidays.
Yes. Thank you. Councilwoman Florence Lynch.
Just want to mention that the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee is hosting a senior luncheon on December 14th. It's going to be first come, first serve, and you have to sign up through Parks and Rec. I think they were going to put something out on try to push it out on Facebook and email. That's all I know about that. I don't know the exact time. I'm assuming it's going to be a 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock thing. And also, looking forward to this Sunday, the celebration of Hope and Light with the tree lighting. That should be like an awesome day. I think it starts at what, 4 o'clock, 4:30, something like that?
4 o'clock.
And for those that might have seen this on Facebook, everyone is, actually, being part of Pequannock Valley Rotary, we're doing this, but everyone in town is really doing this. Collection of new socks, hats, and scarves that we're collecting for Morris County citizens that are homeless. Statistics are higher than 457. There are, on record, over 457 Morris County citizens that are homeless. And so there's a big collection being done right now in town. New socks. Don't ask me why they didn't ask for gloves, but it's socks, hats, and scarves. We won't turn away gloves, but it's socks, hats, and scarves that they're collecting. There's 4 drop-off locations. 2 of them are in town. One is at the Senior Center and one is at Friendship Hall. There's also one in Lincoln Park at Borough Hall and one in Riverdale. And that's where it's going. And then people that donate, we're also raffling, they're going to, not raffle, but they're going to put the names in a hat for a quilt as well, because Quilting for a Cause donated a quilt. So if you do that, you can get a raffle for that. But it's really all about giving to the homeless. So I'm looking forward to that event. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is I think this was we did a lot of veterans things. I don't know if that was before or after our last meeting. I feel like I haven't been here in a long time, but what a great town for all the veterans concerts and lunches and things that we did throughout town. That was awesome, and we had a good time at the first aid installation dinner, which was, a week or so ago, and that was nice as well. But that's it. Happy holidays to everybody, and Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you. Councilman Hurd.
Okay, Mayor. I just wanted to echo what Melissa said about the First Aid Squad dinner. It was wonderful as usual, and congratulations to everybody. They're having their Santa pancake breakfast this December 9th, so it's a week from this Sunday. And I love this time of year, right? You've got all the holidays, you've got Thanksgiving. I sat around the table with my family and my kids. We talked about faith and family and freedom and all these wonderful things. So it's definitely a great time of year. I'm so excited for this Sunday. We're lighting up that Christmas tree. It's going to be awesome. You got the entire town there. It's all about community. So this is what makes this town great. So I can't wait. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Hurd. Councilwoman Russell.
Not a lot. A lot of my committees did not meet. The library will be meeting tomorrow, 7 o'clock at the library. Don't forget, next week we are meeting, so we want to get those committee volunteer sheets in. If anybody's looking to volunteer, please pick out one. We have a lot of great volunteers. I've noticed there's been a lot so far, which is nice. Staff holiday party for any of the volunteers and the staff are welcome is Thursday, December 14th. The first aid dinner we all attended. It was very nice. Thankful for them. Thankful for a lot of stuff. Thankful for this town. On December 7th, I've been invited by Assemblyman Bergen to go on the floor with him as he does his votes. So I'm looking very much forward to that. And Adam, and maybe Mr. Syken knows, do we have an approximate end of leaf pickup date, or do you guys just say there's no more leaves up, we're done? Because a lot of people are asking.
As may have been mentioned in the public, typically the Public Works Department monitors the trees, for lack of a better way to say it.
Right, I kind of thought that was it.
And when it appears that most of the leaves have fallen, there will be a date announced that usually gives 2 weeks.
Oh, I see,
And
okay,
it's
so they
posted on
announced the end
website.
date after.
There will be an end collection date posted on the website approximately 2 weeks before it happens.
Unless we get snow. And then all bets are off.
And then who knows what's gonna happen.
It was snowing today. I was actually driving home from Pennsylvania, and there was a truck on the road, and his truck was piled high with snow.
It's coming your way.
And that's all I had. And yes, I agree. This Sunday is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this season. But also know that there are, when we're talking about being thankful, there's also people that are a lot less fortunate. So let's do what we can to help them out also. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Both fire departments met in November. I was able to attend both. SJG had a great Veterans Day concert. Mrs. Finnan does a great job. I had the pleasure of performing 2 weddings this month. Congratulations to all of the First Aid Squad on their installation dinner. New Bridge is having a ribbon cutting on December 12th at 4 o'clock. Right here on the Turnpike at their new facilities. I think everybody got an invite for that. And that is all I have. Next on the agenda is public comment. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized. Come to the microphone, provide your name for the record. Lorraine, you said later in the meeting? Later is now.
Now is later.
Now or never? Lorraine Robertson, I'm on West End Avenue in Pompton Plains, 128. So, Mr. Mayor and Town Council, I come to you tonight with a concern from the community. I was asked to come to speak to the Town Council on several issues regarding the 60 Sunset application, which I know you cannot comment on, but we would like to bring some things to your attention. Mr. Mayor, who's in charge of the town employees?
That would be Mr. Brewer.
Mr. Brewer. Okay, Mr. Brewer, I have a few questions maybe for you, or comments, and you could answer as you see fit. And first I want to say that Carol has been extremely, extremely helpful when we ask for information, what processes are, procedures in land law cases, specifically regarding the applicant of the 60 Sunset. Mr. Brewer, I don't know if you're aware of the concerns that many people in town have regarding the safety issues of the location of where the applicant wishes to put the school, across from the high school.
So much like the council, I'm happy to listen, but I'm not going to comment specifically on anything to do with the application.
Okay, so here's where the town's concerns have come in. And we know that even the zoning board is limited in what they can say and that they can have conversations off the record. But I know that several people had brought to the fire departments to their attention fire safety concerns with the gate, with the inability of being able to take the ladder truck and make a proper turn that's required by the state. After constant harassment by the applicant telling us that we ask too many questions and that, we're asking the same question over and over, they may have a point. However, our point in continuously answering the question is the concern of safety. And we finally did, after a lot of pressure, get the applicant to agree at the last meeting to conduct a new traffic study because their traffic study was limited, was not on a very busy day. It did not include pedestrians. It referred to the hospital as a medical facility. With the fire department, no one wanted to hear that they were not listening to the state code, and the state code is what governs it, so they are going back to revisit it. I don't know why, but I know that there's also a big issue when people want to do something in town. They now feel very hesitant to go to town, to approach Jill, or to even file for a permit to do something, because everyone feels that they're going to be lashed out at. And I'm bringing this to you. I guess you're the person that handles this, and we don't know if you're aware of it, but we feel that in all fairness to you, you should be made aware that a lot of people feel that they're being ostracized for asking questions. If they go to the town, they're afraid that if they do something with the fire department, the fire marshal is going to come and issue fines, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty much what I wanted to bring to your attention. And again, we've many times requested records through the town, and Carol has been phenomenal with us. She explains what we can ask for, what we can't ask for, and most importantly, why we can't, because what we're looking for doesn't exist. So Carol, thank you for that.
I just want to make it clear that you can ask for anything you want.
Yeah. But no, I know that we've come in and there were a few things that I was asked to get records for, and even the person who had asked me, it didn't really make sense. And, and talking with you, I'm confident that, you know your job, and you were very, as a matter of fact, and even Lori has been phenomenal. But, just having that feeling in town that you can't talk to people, you're afraid, is not good. And I think that, making you aware of it, maybe there will be a change. And as far as the next meeting for 60 Sunset is December 21st. We don't even know if we're going to have the full amount of people on the board. We know that it's impossible for it to come up to a vote. So we know that this will probably go on through February. And so I did tell people that, yes, I'll come and talk with town council, let our voices be heard, and that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? All right. Seeing none, next on the agenda is minutes for approval from October 24th, 2023. Are there any comments on these minutes?
Nope.
Is there a motion to approve these minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 24th, 2023.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Next on the agenda is closed session discussion. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2023-230, authorizing the Township Council to meet in executive session to discuss litigation of a tax appeal? Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Actions may be taken on the tax appeal following the closed session. At this time, the public portion of the meeting is in recess for closed session. Thank you all for coming.